AI. Can you kind of talk about why we might need to get on board, maybe kind of address some of the hesitations that some teachers might have, like feeling resistant, like, no, I don't want to do this. This is a fad. Um, what do you say? What do you say to all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to tell you that I was one of the skeptics when I started. I can vividly remember sitting in our staff lunchroom around this like awful oblong table with those chairs that like are no longer good enough to be in the classroom, but are somehow good enough for the staff room. And the English department was sitting there and they were just going on and on talking about Chat GPT. And I rolled my eyes and I leaned over to my math teacher bestie next to me. And I was like, this is just like photo math. Like we've already been there, done that, right? But then I tried it. I got curious about AI and what the heck this was. And so I asked ChatGPT, what can math teachers do with AI? And it gave me this list of ideas. And so I said, okay, well, let's try to make something real, right? I'm all about projects and PBL. And so I was like, tell me about polynomials and rational functions. And, it gave me some interesting ideas, some car comparisons, how to optimally make a mac and cheese with rational functions. It was pretty cool. Was it perfect? No, absolutely not. But it was a really good starting point. And so since then, I've learned how to master kind of prompting ChatGPT or any AI really that you want to use to make it more of like the ultimate co-teacher. It's like I use a framework, I call it the craft framework, and I help me build like those student-centered real-world math lessons, like lessons, activities, worksheets, warm-ups, you name it, you can create it with your expertise and the powerful help of AI. So, I know a lot of teachers are afraid, but AI is not here to take your jobs, guys. It is it's here to give us our creativity, our clarity, our time freedom. And, it helps me show up better for my students and helps teachers really everywhere kind of enjoy designing lessons again.
Okay, so that's intriguing, and I love everything you're saying. So that leads me to my next question of what are actually some practical ways? I know you kind of talked about it, but what are some practical ways that we can actually use this in the classroom? Because it's exactly like you said, I'm out here rolling my eyes too, because it's
Yeah,
for English
exactly.
teachers. In my mind, it's for English teachers or
Yeah.
more like text-based, right? Like history and things like that. But how do we as math teachers that use numbers and graphs and actually use it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it comes down to the tools that you want to use. I have probably 4 or 5 tools that I use regularly, depending on what it is that I'm working on in my classroom. I use from Khan Academy. Lots of teachers know Khan Academy. They have their own AI tool, and I use that to get some like real world relevant hooks. You just click a button and it'll tell you like some real world applications that are maybe a
Hmm.
little bit more relevant than the ones about the mac and cheese that ChatGPT gave me originally. So it's great for just kind of giving you those quick ideas of like, oh, this is how I can connect it to my students. It's also really awesome for helping you come up with like leveled questionings for your students. If you are trying to create like a thin slice, a la building thinking classrooms, right? Like I feel like that's been all the rage for the past couple of years. You can let it know what you're working on and ask it to thin slice it for you. It can help you come up with like all sorts of real world scenarios that you can use as entry tickets, exit tickets. I just used it a bunch in this testing season to help me come up with some more SAT style questions to be asking my students as our starters. So there's so many things you can explore with AI.
Have you ever put like a question, like copy and pasted a question, say from your textbook, and then asked it to either, I don't know, like like create extension activities or more like scaffolded activities for struggling students? I'm throwing things at
Yeah,
you because I'm trying to think
absolutely.
like, yeah.
Right? We want to work from the resources we already have. So